What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and last night Bill Burr had his comedy special launch on Netflix, and it was predictably evenly handed. I would say Bill's often seen as kind of this anti-woke, reasonable, Hollywood person. In fact, he has stood up for people like Gina Carano in the past, but he's still pretty left, I would say. And it's when he makes fun of, for example, conservatives. Of course, he does like the Southern accent. He makes them sound stupid and all this kind of stuff. But he also, of course, is happy to point out insane leftists and feminists. And he definitely pointed out a major hypocrisy in the feminism movement last night. And I'm looking at Bill's head. I think what he probably should have done is used some Keeps. Check this out. Huge shout out to this video sponsor, Keeps. Keeps is a subscription service that focuses on making it easier and more affordable for men to treat their male pattern baldness at home. With Keeps, you'll have access to online consultations with a real doctor, automated shipping with delivery to your home, constant access to your doctor through online messaging, and generic options of FDA-approved medications for hair loss. Look, Keeps has you covered. 2 out of 3 guys will experience some form of male pattern baldness by the time they're 35 years old. Keeps offers clinically proven, research-backed treatments to stop hair loss and improve hair growth. They have 24/7 customer care and support. And Keeps has everything you're ever going to need delivered straight to your door. Stop hair loss right now with Keeps. To get 50% off of your first order, go to keeps.com/thequartering. That's KEEPS.com/thequartering and stop hair loss today. Hey, the best time to keep it is to start right now. Now, politically incorrect comedian and actor Bill Burr joked about feminists again in his latest Netflix special, Bill Burr Live at Red Rocks. Bill Burr joked that it's feminists, not men, who are to blame for poor viewership of women's sports, which he said in some cases are subsidized by men. They are. You're playing in a 20,000 seat arena. 1,500 people show up. That's not a good night. The promoter lost his rear on that gig, the comic said about U.S. women's soccer, according to Bro Bible. Burr then moved to the WNBA and the league's notorious low attendance at games. Look at the WNBA. They've been playing in front of 300 to 400 people a night for a quarter of a century. Not to mention, it's a male subsidized league. We gave you a league and none of you showed up. It's absolutely true. The attendance at WNBA is hysterically low. They've been losing hundreds of millions of dollars every year. It's subsidized by the NBA. Nobody cares about any real numbers about women's basketball at the professional level. Certainly, I think it's more popular in college because you have like the tournament, March Madness, and things of that nature. But nobody cares. Like, oh, I'm watching perfectly executed jump shots and layups. Ooh, exciting! Another layup. I don't know. It's just there are women's sports that are exciting. Basketball just isn't one of them. I think people who like golf will watch women's golf. I think there's, they may not be able to drive it as far on average, but there's still a lot of skill in that game. Tennis. I think, women's tennis is very, very popular. It's not just that like women's sports are, widely ignored. And, there are some, though. The WNBA is definitely one of them. He then he said, "We're the feminists," the 54-year-old joked. "That place should be packed with feminists, face painted, wearing jerseys, going nuts like you guys do. None of you went to the games. You failed them," he told feminists. "Not me, not men. Women failed the WNBA. Ladies, name your top 5 WNBA players of all time. Name 5 WNBA teams. Name the WNBA team in your city. You can't do it." Well, to be fair, I couldn't do it either. I'm almost certain I could not name 5 WNBA teams. Does Cheryl Swoops still play? That's probably the only WNBA player I would know. And, by the way, no disrespect to women's, basketball players. I mean, get your scholarships, go to college, but, maybe don't think about going to the WNBA. Sports site AS noted that in March, the NBA commissioner Adam Silver said in 2018, the WNBA had lost $10 million every single year since its inception, adding that pay increases for women's players likely just means even bigger subsidies from the league's highly profitable male counterpart, the WNBA or the NBA. Of course, Burr is known for his politically incorrect humor. Back in 2018, for example, the comedian unapologetically pushed back against the left gender ideology, partly when it came to kids. The King of Staten Island actor ripped fascist liberals for pushing their gender-neutral ideology on the rest of us during an episode of Your Mom's House podcast. Burr rejected the notion of raising his baby girl as anything other than female and lamented the small minority of fascist leftists who attempt to dictate our speech and shame those who, like himself, don't fall in line. I would never do that to my kid, he said in the podcast. The kid has like a developing brain. I'm going to dump my own constitution of garbage on them. Like, that is adult stuff. You should allow kids to be kids. Can't they have a childhood? I would never have some political agenda. When told gender is now subjective, Burr replied with, I don't agree with that. Good luck on how you want to raise your kids. I'm going to raise my kids the way I want to. My daughter is a girl. If she wants to work on carburetors or, quote, do some guy stuff, I don't give an F, he continued. I opened my mind. I listened to you. I don't agree with what you're saying. It's my kid, and I'll raise her the way I want to. And then this is obviously not the first time he's had, back in 2021, the Grammy predictions came true after social media users ripped the comedian over his controversial presentation of pre-recorded award show Sunday while presenting the honor of the best tropical Latin album. The 52-year-old funny man joked that feminists are going nuts and wondered, why is this cis white male going and doing all this Latino stuff? The F is for family. The F is for family creator had kicked off the speech by quipping that he wanted to end himself during a protracted piano performance that preceded his appearance. Burr slipped up again in mispronouncing the name of the best regional Mexican music album winner. I don't know. Natalia Lafourcade? I don't know. I can't say this name. The Grammy goes to Natalia Lafourcade. The fumbling funny man said, I will accept it on behalf of her. If I butchered her name, I'm sorry. Natalia, you won. I mean, I think you could see back in 2020, it took worldwide lockdowns, but ESPN is finally going to give the WNBA the coverage it dreamed of. I don't have any. Obviously, the thing is the other thing that he pokes fun at, which I thought was funny, is he talks about how everyday women, Burr brought up, and saying, how do I say this? He brings up everyday women and how now there are no more attractive women on billboards. That everyday regular looking women complain like crazy so that they could feel good about themselves, so that they could remove the competition, for example. And there's I don't know. I don't want to say, all women kind of thing, but he goes on and says, ladies, if you could just support the NBA the way you support a fat chick that's proud of her body and no longer a threat to you, the league would be doing better numbers than the NBA. He's talking about how, these, when you get these healthy at all sizes people promoting being 500 pounds as being, stunning and brave, but they secretly do that to feel better about themselves.
You saw an alcoholic where you'd be like, oh my God, look at you, you face that, lose a toe, you fat bitch. It's shit if I look like that. Keep eating.
Hey, I'll go here.
That's one of the saddest things I've ever seen. Oh my God, you're a goddess. You're gorgeous. You look great in that bikini. I would kill myself if I looked like that. Keep eating. Lose a toe, you fat bitch. It's just, you saw an alcoholic where you'd be like, I see all that sneaky shit you do, other than the fact that you guys are just into destroying each other. No, now it's gonna
He talks about, you know, all this kind of stuff. You know, I think, you know, Bill Burr, his stand up for me, you know, it's kind of not really evolved over the years. It's like if you like Bill Burr, you like him as an actor and you like his stand up, it is what it is. You get what you pay for, which is, I think, not an insult. It's, you know, it's a good thing these days, but it isn't exactly earth shattering stuff. Excuse me, stuff. But it is nice to see someone willing to at least poke at the extremes on the left and the right. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.